That's exactly right, and I think of course, we had the championships in the spring with men's tennis, women's tennis, and men's golf. But I think after the school year got out, there's been some tremendous performances, and I guess highlighted by this past weekend. Hagan Owenby's tremendous performance in the college baseball home run derby, and to see Hagan perform so just magnificently and on ESPN2 for 2.5 hours to get the ETSU logo, just continually being flashed across the screen, and all the positive talk about the program and Coach Skull and Hagan. Really, I think that's value you just can't ever buy. And then of course it was rerun last night at 8 o'clock. So I think 4.5 hours of ETSU being flashed across the screen really was a tremendous benefit to the university and ETSU athletics. And I think on top of that, just the tremendous way that Hagan handled himself was something that really spoke volumes about our program. And persevere through. That's a tough deal to to hit a baseball for 4 minutes and then do it again for 4 minutes, then again for 4 minutes. And so I think there was more than just talent involved. It was mental toughness and the ability to focus. So I think he really characterized what our mantra of ETSU tough. So certainly congratulations to Hagan Owenby and our whole baseball program. And then some tremendous performances. Michael Williams on our track team participated in the NCAA National Championships out in Oregon, and once again he was on ESPN. His race in the 400-meter hurdles, he performed very, very nicely, and once again got that big old E logo right there on national TV. And although they didn't make national TV, there was a great amount of exposure for our men's tennis when David Biosca and Rogerio Ribeiro made it to the semifinals of the national championship in doubles. And I mean, a tremendous performance, defeating the Florida team, which was ranked #1 in the country. And I think they got a little bit of a bad break because the weather started to rain pretty hard out in Tulsa, and they had to go inside, and that certainly wasn't to our advantage. But they just never gave up and fought hard and took it right down to the very end before they actually were ousted of the tournament. So once again, congratulations to those guys. And another tremendous performance is Adrian Meronk, our All-American golfer who represented Europe in the Palmer Cup. And pretty amazingly, I think this is the second year Adrian represented Europe, and he has never lost a match. He's tied a couple, but he's won most of them. And I think, unfortunately, from our standpoint as Americans, the Europeans won pretty handily, and Adrian was a big part of that. And as I guess a result of that, Adrian now is ranked the number 11 amateur golfer in the world. That's amazing. And then I guess the other thing that's kind of exciting out there from ETSU standpoint is Seamus Power has a real chance to represent his country, Ireland, in the Olympics in Brazil in a month or so. So I know I saw an article where he looked like he was going to be one of the representatives. So I think the article I saw, it was a good chance he and Padraig Harrington would be the representatives from Ireland. So those are pretty exciting times, and really a statement about the quality of athletes that ETSU athletics are producing. Yeah, well, from a kind of a selfish standpoint, we're really disappointed that Dylan Bice, I guess our #1 recruit, signed out of high school. So that was unfortunate for us, but once again, it tells you the quality of people that we are recruiting. And of course, Trey York, who was first-team All-American, I guess, signed and is now playing minor league baseball. So congratulations to Trey. And I guess that's the other thing I didn't mention earlier, that both Trey York and Hagan Owenby both received All-American honors on numerous All-American teams. So I think that representation on those All-American teams once again talks about a lot about our our student athletes. But to get 5 drafted, hopefully, knock on wood, 3 of our players that were drafted will come back and lead our baseball team next year. So I think baseball is really on an upswing and should be an exciting year this coming year for Coach Skull and the guys. Really tremendous. I think that what we've seen is the excitement and enthusiasm of our fan base. And, while that's really good and we greatly appreciate it, I think that enthusiasm has really manifested itself in their support for our program. If you went to our football games this past year, you saw the tremendous excitement. Our basketball games and Coach Forbes, I think people are really excited about that. In other situations, we've seen great crowds at men's and women's soccer, volleyball, baseball, softball. So I think, the people are out there supporting it, going to the games, but I think they've also committed to helping us financially make that. So this past year, we set an all-time record of unrestricted annual gifts of about $475,000. I mean, that's probably up about 200 and some thousand from when I got here 3.5 years ago. So tremendous work of our staff, Joanne Patey and Scott Carter and Matt McGahey and Tyler McCann. They've done a great job, but I think a big part of that is people only want to buy into something that they feel is being done well, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've been able to generate those kind of private annual gifts. The other thing is, this is the most money we've ever raised. Unrestricted and restricted. It's almost $1.3 million in private gifts that have come to ETSU Athletics. While it's not the all-time record, there was one year where we raised a little bit more than that, but that was probably because of a major gift to help fund the Warren Green Practice Golf Center. So that was a one-time deal. This is kind of continuing, and I think that speaks volumes about the people's commitment to what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I just, I think our coaches are doing it right, our student athletes are doing it right, and so people get behind that, and they tell you that by writing a check. So we're very appreciative for that, and I think we really appreciate all of the people that have helped us financially, and hopefully you continue to do so. Of course, we have a chance now. We're just kind of finishing up season ticket renewals and sales for this coming football and basketball season. So if you haven't done it, you might want to give our staff a call and go ahead and get your season tickets now, because football, of course, the Bristol Motor Speedway game is one that, against Western Carolina, is one that should be a lot of fun and a very special event that, it's probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see this type of an event. And then, of course, in men's basketball, playing the University of Tennessee at Freedom Hall should be a great event, and having our women play the UT Lady Vols, which we're going to play in the Dome. So it should be an exciting time for all those major events.